May Allah blessings and bounties be upon you, O Muslim. Today is a beautiful day. And again, I would like to thank the Mosqueers, Ministry of Imam W.G. Muhammad, and our Imam, President Warith Muhammad II, who has allowed me this opportunity to come before you and say a few words on ethics in the context of community life, which we must be cognizant of is the fact that in Islam, the Quran is a book that chronicles the human conduct. So if you hear words or you hear something that seems to be redundant or you heard it before, it's because Allah's words never change. And it is imperative that we become mindful of that, is that in the lives of individuals, groups, or an organization, when we think of ethics, we think about conduct. It's a moral subjectivism or subjective. It's a moral realism, or it's a ought problem, or I ought to do something. See, unfortunate, that ought problem that we have, it's a problem that is more or less an scapegoat, which we will kind of bring to you in a minute or so. And that the ought or subjective that we think of in our moral conduct and conducting our affairs in our lives, we must bring to you something that is very relevant here, that is faith, action, and realization, which the faith, action, and realization actually really, in the subjective sense, we don't see them until we are well into the work of what we're doing. So here we, in the objective, we're referring to it takes place within the mind, and it's a modification by the individual. And it could be based in bias, it could be based in prejudice, it could be based in hate, envy, jealousy. So, which we will kind of get to a lot of this in a minute. Then you will see it all come together, inshallah. And that is, alternatively, we think of the objective portion that we spoke of for the ethical life. It is referring to an existence or remaining within what we call, or remaining within inherent, something that is inherent. In Islam, we have a concept called inherent limitation, inherent motivation. So the inherent motivation and inherent limitation in Islam, it kind of tells us when to go, when to stop. In other words, it tells us when not to do something. And this is something that is inherent in our nature, which we will kind of get to some of this in a little bit. And also, Islam leads us to understand our religion. So when I say Islam leads us to understand our religion, then we are referring to a concept in our religion that is called fiqh. And we have read, some of us who have read it, or some of us who may have heard it. And in our religion it says that if Allah or God loves you, He grants you understanding of religion. And that is imperative that we understand the fact that religion is something that we have to walk and talk with daily. We use our religions and the instructions to our children, and we use our religion when we go on the job. So religion is very important, but understanding your religion and being able to walk and talk with your religion in the broader context of your environment is very important, which we would kind of, again, we'll get to some more of this later. And we go on to say here that in our religion, we are dealing again with the moral issues, often referred to as the alt problem, or used to indicate obligation or duty. So we know that in our religion there's an obligation, there's a duty that we owe to God and to God alone. But we also owe that same obligation and duty to not only ourselves, but to our family, to our community, and to the general membership or the general community that's around us. We have an obligation. Such as we say the alt problem, we have a mother, we have a father, which is basically things that you basically commonly know. See? Which Islam is not a religion that comes to us and educates us or tells us something that we haven't heard of. It only tells us of things in which that we can build upon. So we have also the minister in the church. We have an imam, and they too are instruction. They give us instructions in the alt situation. But in Islam, more or less, they may say, inshallah. They say, inshallah, brother, if you do so and so and so, maybe perhaps this will happen for you, if it's God's will. But remember that we say inshallah, that's beautiful. But remember that it's overused, it's overabused. We abuse the inshallah. We tell one another, so, hey, brother, I'm gonna come and get with you today and help you paint your house. See? Inshallah, brother, inshallah. See? So the day come to help me paint my house, I look, where so and so and so and so. You know, oh, well, I know what happened, inshallah happened. You see? So, I mean, our leader, Imam Wafidi Muhammad, he done instructed us daily on how to deal with these situations. See? These situations is paramount because God has given to you and I, as we said, the inherent limitations and inherent motivations. And what is within your ability to do, you would do. See? And also what is within your ability in that same sense is that whatever's the intent in your heart, you would do. But if the intent is not in your heart, you're not going to do. You're going to give me a fictitious answer and wait on me to respond. Or you'll call me up a day before, brother, I got something going on tomorrow, and I'm afraid I may not be able to make that event that you brought to my attention, although I may give you an indication that I could. See, Allah is Akbar. And Allah is the only thing that we need in order to sustain our lives. But God also tells us we need one another. Because without one another, what ended up happening that you say, well, can a man stand alone? Yes, you can stand alone. But you may not be able to do all the work alone by yourself, but you can stand alone, provided that you love Allah, provided that you love the religion, provided that you love Imam Wafidi Muhammad. But remember, even our leader Imam Muhammad, he told us in this sense, he said, look, he said, yeah, there are people among us who come, they say, yeah, we love this religion. Oh, we love this community. Oh, we love God. But what they really love is that they have something within them that they want from you and I. That's all it is. You have something that they want. And that's the only reason why they're among you. It's to siphon off from you what they want from you. And once they have got all of what they think that they can muster up or gather, then you ask, where's sister so-and-so? Where's brother so-and-so? They gone. Why are they gone? Because the hidden bosses called them home. See, they hidden bosses and called them home. See, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He warned us over and over and over and over again. And we'll get to some of this here in shortly. See? And a lot of this came from where? It came from on high. Came from on high, and it come down to earth with us, the children of Adam. And that it was mentioned earlier about something that was very relevant. Imam Hajim, he mentioned it. The free will. See? That free will is dangerous. If you don't monitor it right. You don't use it right. But if you use it in accordance with God's plan, then the free will is beautiful. In this environment, in a religious environment where we're working with people in situations, that free will can be an asset. But if you got somebody in that free will environment that have their own interests, their own designs on something or an agenda, it can reap havoc. So Allah warns us there about that free will in the Quran. If you read your Quran daily, religiously, you'll find that all of us in here should be Hafiz. We all should be Hafiz. Why should I say we all should be Hafiz? Because if we read the Quran daily, as we ought to read it, over the many years that we have had the Quran, then we'll be able to memorize the Quran over them years, and whenever we speak, you will hear the Quran being spoken.